Hello everybody and welcome to SolidCode. In this video we are going to see how to handle polymorphism on Unity. So on the previous video we ended up with our game having the player tank, which is the green one, and the enemy AI tank, which is going to be the red one. But now we want to implement a new one that is just like a dummy tank, that it will be rotating and it will be shooting in the direction of the rotation, every second. So we want to implement that because in next videos we are going to have different types of tanks, especially in the way that they behave, and that is really important for the game. So for now we are going to have these three, and we want that they share some behavior and obviously some code in order to reduce the amount of lines of code that we have. So we will be implementing a base tank class, and we are going to be using inheritance in order to implement the polymorphism on Unity. So let's start. First we go to Unity and we are going to go to our prefabs and we are going to add a new one. I'm going to make the camera a little bit more like here, and I'm going to move it for now. So there I have it, and I'm going to rename it as dummy tank, and I will go here, and I want to use other textures for this tank. So we go to the materials, the third party, and I'm going to add the pink materials to this one. So there it is, maybe this one there. So if we go to the game, now we will see here our dummy tank. So now we need to check at the scripts. So we go to the script and we see that for now we have only two. We have the tank and we have the enemy implementation. But between the enemy and the tank there is behaviors that are shared. So we want to create a base tank script, and we will implement polymorphism there. First we need to see at what things do the tank and the enemy shared. So for example, if we go here, we know that these three are shared between them. So if I go to the enemy, I see that those are something that they share. So I'm going to copy it here. Also, if we see in the start, there is a difference in the update as well. The shoot is very different, but we can see here that in enemy we call the shoot bullet, right? So, and here is a provisional implementation. So this is something that we can remove from the enemy. And also the on collision enter is the same for both. So what we are going to do is cut it, and we are going to paste it on our base tank, and it's going to be protected. And let's see, and on the tank we want to copy the way we shoot the bullet, and we are also going to make it protected. Now we are going to copy here base tank, and the tank now must inherit from base tank, and the enemy as well. Also, I want to, okay, yeah, there is good. So yes, let's see. Now on the children classes, when we want to call the parent, we need to use the base. For example, base that shoot bullet, and same in here. So that is really important. Another thing that we must do is to delete the attributes that we already have in our parent class. So I'm going to delete this for the enemy and this as well from the player tank. Now if we go to Unity, go to the game, and first I saw that on the dummy tank for now we are going to deactivate the script because we haven't implemented anything for this, but the prefab thinks that is a normal tank and it adds the script. But we should have the same thing as we saw on previous video, and as you can see the enemy is working. Yeah, so let's pause the game and let's continue. Our next step will be to create a script for the dummy tank. And this dummy tank will be similar to the enemy. So for now we are going to copy this because we are going to shoot in intervals, but for now it's gonna be 1 second. Another thing that we need, well, in this case we don't need the destination because this object will shoot depending on the rotation, but something that we are going to do is to also use a coroutine. And for now we are going to copy this as well, but deleting this because the destination here is kind of different. And the important thing here is how are we going to handle where to shoot, right? Because as we can see, we don't have for the dummy tank a specific destination. So let's see how we can do that. I will implement a more generic solution that will work for all the tanks. So what we need to do, first I'm going to do it on the player tank for now, and what we need to do is add a new game object. It's going to be a 3D game object and it's going to be a sphere, and I'm going to name it a spawn point. I'm going to add it to the prefab, and there it is. So this spawn point basically is going to be a point that is like a ghost, but it will help us to give like a guide on where to shoot. So first let's implement this one. So something that I'm going to do is move it right here, maybe there, and I'm going to scale it. And yeah, now we have something way smaller. I'm going to delete the sphere collider because this one is going to be like a ghost. We don't need it. I'm going to scale it a little bit more just so it looks better. So there is going to be that spawn point, right? If we go to the enemy, for example, we should have this spawn point as well. In order to be able to see it everywhere, we need to go here and apply this to the prefab. In that way we should be able to see it now on the enemy. As we can see, it is there, and on the dummy tank as well. Yeah, so it is there. So basically for the dummy tank, what we are going to say is that the shooting needs to be in the direction of the spawn point. For that I will do it this way. I will copy this, but instead of the gun child is going to be the spawn point. We are going to look for the object spawn point, and what we're going to do is to shoot, and our destination will be the spawn point, that position. I forgot to change this as base tank as well. Another thing that I want to do is to rotate our dummy tank 90 degrees every time, so it will be rotating forever. Next thing we need to do is go to our dummy tank, and in here we are going to remove the script of the tank, the player tank, and we are going to add the dummy tank script. And important, we need to do the same thing on the prefabs, drag and drop the bullet. And as we can see, the dummy tank is rotating, but it kills itself, but the direction it is working as expected. Here's an error. Let me see what it is. Basically, the issue is that we need to keep calling the recursive call only if the destination it is different to null. That means the player tank is still alive. That for the enemy. And for the dummy tank, what we can do is to ask for the spawn point. So that was the issue. And there is one final detail. As we can see here, we are still seeing that small spawn points, right? But we need to remove them. Since we cannot remove them, what we are going to do is deactivate the mesh renderer, and we are going to apply that to the prefabs. And now let's see, I'm going to move a little bit this tank, the dummy tank. Maybe let's move it here. And let's see what happens. So this one is shooting, this one is going for the enemy, and yeah, everything is working as we expected. So on next videos we are going to continue implementing more difficult levels, and we are going to implement other AIs that are smarter than these both that we have. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel if you like this kind of content. Hit the like button and see you next time. Bye.